What in the world is affection that it inspires beings to vow to accompany each other in life and this? Travelers flying together from south to north, their old wings enduring the cold and heat. Joy and sorrow parting is painful. Over 10,000 miles of layered clouds, 1,000 mountains with evening snow, for whom does the lone shadow depart? You know, these words by the poet Lifechanyuan carry just an incredible weight, don't they? They immediately plunge us right into the profound pain of parting and the sheer intense gravity of human love. But reading that leaves us with a pretty undeniable question. What exactly is affection? Why does it drive us to such extreme highs and lows? Well, today we're going to pivot from the poetry of broken hearts to an investigation of the universe itself. Because as you're about to see, the true answer to this question is far more cosmic and far more structural than just everyday romance. Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to decode the vast and really fascinating source material on the array of affection. I am so excited to guide you through this because it takes something we all feel every single day and elevates it into a literal universal framework. Here's our quick roadmap for today. First, the burden of affection. Second, the web of human bonds. Third, affection as non-material energy. Fourth, the 8-trigram array. And finally, seeking divine affection.
Section 1. The burden of affection. Tragedies of the heart.
We're going to start by focusing on what we all know best, right? The intense and sometimes completely destructive power of romantic love. Across history and myth, our stories are absolutely filled with people risking everything, even their lives, for affection. We've got the Weaver Girl descending from the heavens to marry the mortal cowherd, the White Snake transforming into Lady White for Shushian, Meng Jiangnu traveling thousands of miles just to weep at the Great Wall. We see Du Xiniyang angrily sinking a chest of priceless treasures, Romeo willingly drinking poison, and Zhu Yingtai leaping into a grave. And honestly, these stories are just the tip of the iceberg. For thousands of years, the world has witnessed countless tragic tales where affection is so deep, it literally shatters the soul. Think about it. Secret affairs, sacrificing one's life, dueling, accumulating debts, or even committing crimes for love. These acts of sheer fervor almost always lead to chaos, the destruction of homes, and the demise of the people involved. So what is the point of all that fervent affection? As the source text puts it so perfectly, brilliance fades, regrets last a lifetime, speechless before the heavens, only hatred and shame remain. This really illustrates how narrow, intensely focused affection can actually be incredibly destructive. Section 2. The web of human bonds, tethered to the earth. Let's zoom out a bit now, moving from the intense focus of romantic lovers to the everyday connections that anchor us to this world. Because affection isn't just about spouses and lovers, it forms a massive, tangled web. It's the bond between a father and son, a mother and daughter. It's siblings and confidants, friends and comrades, classmates, masters and disciples. It even extends to our hometowns and our local roots. Together, all these relationships constitute a vast sea of human affections. They form a massive array. And here's the absolutely crucial point. Many people live and die entirely for these connections. When this affection is lost, people are left feeling completely aimless, like wandering souls on the verge of collapse. These bonds are the very tethers holding human society together. Section 3. Affection as non-material energy. The cosmic definition. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is how we completely shift gears. We are stepping right out of psychology and sociology and directly into the cosmic definition. According to the text, affection is defined as a kind of non-material energy embedded in the non-material structure of life to maintain harmony in family, society, fairyland, and humanity. Okay, this is huge. Affection is not merely a fleeting emotion you feel in your chest. It is an essential universal energy. Life absolutely must have affection. Without it, life perishes. The greatest creators have it, celestial beings have it, trees have it, even demons have it. It's basically the invisible glue of the cosmos. Let's break down this highly abstract concept a little further, because it's a lot to wrap your head around. The universe is constituted by 3 main elements: structure, energy, and consciousness. And correlating directly to those are the 3 great treasures of life: nature, love, and Tao. Nature is the characteristic of structure. Love is the characteristic of energy. And Tao is the characteristic of consciousness. So where exactly does affection fit into all of this? Well, affection actually embodies all three. It is a fundamental need of both consciousness and structure, but its core essence is energy. Therefore, as long as there is nature, love, and the Tao, there is affection. Now, if that felt just a bit too heavy and philosophical, this next point beautifully grounds it. For human life, affection is like salt. Man, I love this metaphor. It perfectly hits the nail on the head when it comes to balance. If your affection is too weak, life is totally tasteless. You're just disconnected. But if your affection is too strong, too narrow, and too fervently focused on one single person or thing, life becomes bitter. It leads right back to those heartbreaking tragedies we talked about earlier. Balance is everything. Section 4. The 8 trigram array, the hierarchy of life. So let's see how this energy actually builds the structure of reality itself. Affection isn't just floating around out there randomly. It's structured into a very specific hierarchy. Gods have divine affection. Celestials have celestial affection. Humans have human affection. Below that, beasts and birds possess animal affection. Plants have their own plant affection. And finally, ghosts and demons have demonic affection. This array literally acts as a heavenly net. It binds each level of life to thrive and flourish only in its respective space. It keeps the entire universe orderly and disciplined. Basically, you belong to the realm that matches the frequency of your affection. And that brings us to a stark and incredibly important dichotomy. When your affection is narrow, meaning it's focused only on yourself or just one or two other individuals, it becomes impoverished and barren. According to the source material, this narrowness literally draws you closer to hell. But when your affection is broad, abundant, and expansive, it draws you closer to heaven. The scope of your affection dictates your spiritual destination within that 8-trigger array. Section 5. Seeking divine affection. Ascending the array. So how do we actually escape the pain and the limitations of the human array? We have to fundamentally shift our focus. Human affection is focused locally, right? On parents, siblings, friends, and monogamous romance. To ascend, we must slowly diminish these narrow individual bonds and deepen our ethereal connection to the universe itself. We must seek divine affection, which is focused on the greatest creator, the universe, all things in nature, and the Tao. Simply put, the broader the affection, the more divine it is. Now, you might be thinking this sounds kind of cold, right? Like you have to become an emotionless stone. Actually, scratch that. It is the exact opposite. You are actively encouraged to embrace the predestined affection of the fairyland, to love the mountains, the rivers, and nature, and to deeply cherish all life. And I find this last step so surprising and just, well, joyous. Enjoy playing and having fun. Seriously. By expanding your love out to nature, cherishing every living thing, and truly engaging in the joy of play, you actually increase your divine affection. You're broadening your personal energy to match the frequency of the heavens. So we've come full circle today, from the heartbreaking tragedy of our first poem to the profound triumph of this concluding poem from the text. Deeply affectionate, earnestly heartfelt, mountains, rivers, and all things are loved by me. Heaven and earth merge with affection. Unending affection, not obsessed with affection. My affection pervades all. When my work is done, I will be fulfilled naturally. Beautiful ideals turn into reality. I mean, wow. That perfectly summarizes the ideal state, doesn't it? A broad, unobsessed, cosmic love that touches absolutely everything without selfishly clinging to anything. And so, I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on today. Will you remain tethered to the tragic, narrow array of human bonds, constantly risking the bitterness of too much salt? Or will you broaden your affection to embrace the mountains, the rivers, and the entire universe? Ultimately, the choice of where you sit in the array of affection is completely yours. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring.